Hi there, my name's Tom and I'm going to give you some top 10 tips for doing top 10 tips videos online. 10 points off. First of all, let me answer the question that I know is on your mind. Why am I qualified to make a top 10 tips video on top 10 tips? Well, I'm sure you'll know the answer in your subconscious already because you'll probably have seen my top 10 facts about my penis which you would never have guessed. A video that reached widespread acclaim and critical popularity. So now that that question is out of the way, let's get on with the business. This is Tom's top 10 tips on top 10 tips videos. Straight away, number 10, be consistent. Your tips, they have to be one after the other with good consistency. I'm not talking flavour of the tip, doesn't matter. I'm not talking theme even necessarily, does not matter. Consistency. Keep it together with your top 10 tips. These want to be the toppest of the top 10. You know, this ain't top 11. Who's watching top 11 videos? Top 7. You know, that's one thing that annoyed me actually. Around about 2015, a lot of top 7 things came out. Articles, that lot. BuzzFeed led it. You know, BuzzFeed led that revolution. Ignore them. Top 10. Keep it consistent. Top 10 tip number 9 is it does not always have to rhyme. Common misconception about top 10 tips is that rhyming generally does better for the algorithms. Not true. Not necessarily true. Not all the time. Generally, maybe. Yeah. But number 9, don't have to rhyme. If you're good at rhyming, you may as well rhyme, honestly. It's not one of my fortes, so yeah. Number 9. Don't rhyme all the time. Well, apparently I can do it.
Number 8.
Have all of your tips ready to go. You don't want to be improvising your top 10 tips. That would be ridiculous. 7. Always count down. You don't want to start at number 1 on your top 10 tips because people get bored by 10. You want to start at 10 and work your way down. That way, people feel like they're having fun. It's like a countdown. It's like, imagine like a rocket taking off. That's what you want to visualize when you're making your top 10 video for the internet, is that it's like a rocket taking off. It's like a big build up, you know? It's like a big countdown. It's like you could feel it coming, and you're molding it and you're weaving your tips in there. 10 to 1. That's number 7. Number 6. Top 10 tip number 6. Take a break if you need to. If you need to take a break, take a break. You don't want to wear yourself out doing these top 10 tips. That's a common mistake in the industry. And you know what? This is a little bit of an insight. I did used to wear myself out doing these tips. My classic video that saw the fame of this channel and my brand, the top 10 tips about my penis, which you would never have guessed. You know, bit of insider knowledge. That was exhausting. It was really hard. That was really hard to get through. But, you know, when it comes to art, you know, you got to push through. But you don't have to push through. Actually, take a break. Just take a break. I wish I could have gone back and told myself to take a break. Maybe things would have ended up a bit differently if I'd focused on my health more than, you know, the health of the channel, as they say, the analytics and yeah. So take a break. Number 6 is actually a good number to take a break on when you're producing your top 10 tips video. Number 5, force the humor. People that watch top 10 videos on the internet are idiots. They need to be told when something's funny. What was that I just heard? A laugh track? That's right. Guess what's back in popularity? Laugh tracks. You can add one whenever you want. It's essentially an indication of comedy. Oh, there was another one. Zoom-ins like that are also an absolute classic, and some would argue staple in 2020 of the top 10 genre. So make sure to zoom in whenever you can basically be bothered to on Adobe Premiere. I mean, it's not that hard, but it just, you know, you want to rush these things out, really. Too many zooms, it just takes up lots of time. Number 4, shake things up a little bit, if necessary. Don't keep it bland, you know, 10987. If you want to skip a number and then reference the fact that you've skipped a number at some point, or don't, and just be like, haha, I skipped a number. That's fucking hilarious, so do that. Or you can shake things up by, wearing different clothes. Whoa! Who dressed me like this? Top 10 tip number 3. It's right there. You probably can't see it because the camera is on manual focus. Always be yourself. Always be yourself. Don't be someone else. It's important to always be yourself, because the viewers will know if you're being somebody else. The viewers they'll pick up on it, and they won't subscribe or like or comment or yeah. Basically that means, right, basically always behave how you behave. Well, always don't listen to other people unless their advice is good, and then also I guess know when the advice isn't good. So have, you know, refine advice by being yourself. Unless there are aspects of yourself which you don't like, then you can change them. But actually, well, because you changing those aspects about yourself which you don't like is actually you being yourself, because you're a person that changes or doesn't, if that is also you. So always be yourself, no matter who that is, unless you're hurting other people in the process. Number 2 is always eat a good meal before starting a top 10 tips video internet post. You want to eat a good meal. You don't want to be hungry doing a top 10 tips video. Here's a picture on the screen of the meal that I ate. My mum cooked that for me. Not lying, not being funny, not forcing the humour, not this time. She actually did. It was lovely. Chicken was a bit dry. Other than that, absolutely lovely. I did the bread myself. I buttered that myself. Think of it as like the opposite of swimming. You know, they say don't swim and eat. Don't, you know, combine those two. Or even just do them within like a certain time frame of each other. So don't eat then swim, because I think you'll drown or something. Which, now that I think about it, is kind of insane. Like, when has that ever happened? Don't think of it like as with swimming. Just think of it like as with life. If you're gonna go and do something important, you want to have a big full tummy, you know? So that's number 2. That's why it's number 2. You want to eat a good, solid meal. 4-2, maybe. And now we've come to the end of the top 10 tips, top 10 video for tips. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Here's an extra tip. Crazy. The extra tip, number 1.5, is do a little bit like this right before tip number 1, because that's what everyone's stuck around for. Some people even skip to the end. So if you put this bit in, which is going to be basically me promoting stuff, then you get, it's good. You want it right here at 1.5. So check out the channel if you want more top 10 videos and more comedy let's playing. Me and my friend Joe, we do comedy let's playing. where we play games and do comedy. Also, check out this video, which is my vocal coach, I'm a vocal coach, which is my, being me, the vocal coach, reaction to Foo Fighters, Everlong, and it's a great video, really good. Look at some of these comments. So thanks for sticking around. Here's number 1, top 10 tips. Tip number 1, most important tip, don't get distracted. Had to be said. Some people are going to hate me for that. Some people won't like that one bit. But it's really important not to get distracted, because in life there can be many distractions in general. Many distractions. It could be a hobby. It could be a person, maybe someone you're attracted to and want to be with. It could be a friend that you trust and love completely, and then they just decide that you're like completely redundant to them, to their lives one day. You know, someone you could be best mates with forever, like since you were children, you know, and spend like, you know, like you don't really go a week without hanging out with them, and then literally overnight they fucking decide that, well, they don't even decide, they just feel like you're fucking redundant. And that can take, like, maybe I'm just, maybe like you are just a sensitive person or something, and maybe that's like your problem, and that you're a bit weird or broken, but it can take like a real long time to get over, like a lot longer than you think, and it can be hard, like, especially when, I mean, I don't know if this has been said before and it sounds a bit gay to say it, but like you actually can't really control what you dream about in the early morning, you know, like right before you wake up, and if a lot of the time that is you just being mates again and hanging out, and you're thinking, what did they say, like how did they apologize to me that it made things better, and you can't remember, and you're thinking in your dream like I'm happy with friends again, but like didn't they sort of like absolutely just reject me, like to the core, consistently, repeatedly, no matter attempts to rebuild the relationship, they just literally wanted nothing more to do with me. So you might be thinking those things, you might be experiencing them in your dreams, and then you get to wake up every fucking day to that dream on repeat.